How do, y'all? We finally got some carpet and some vinyl to cover up the stuff on the inside of the Snug Bug. But first, we got to light a fire in here and get it warmed up a little bit, and we'll pull all those panels out. The farmer in.
Liddell.
The farmer in.
Liddell.
Hi-ho, da dirty do, the farmer in.
Liddell.
Okay. And yet again, we need to clean the floor out. If you haven't been following along, if you go to our channel and then look up the playlist, there's like 6 or maybe 7, if you include this one, videos on what we've been doing here. But anyway, we are going to get all this thing vacuumed out, clean up all that crap. And then before I cover everything up, I've got to get those wires tied in for at least the taillights, brake lights, that kind of thing. It will still be accessible, but it's going to take a little more work, so I'll try and get those tied up right now, or at least before we cover them, and then we'll get started on painting all of the different panels that are laying up against the sawhorses now. And here's a little sneak peek at the carpet we got. It's like sort of a salt and pepper, but it's more black than anything else. And then we also got some black vinyl. So we'll get after that and we'll be right back. All right, we've got 2 panels with 2 coats on them. And then further in the car, we have yet another cardboard template for some floor mat kind of things that are going to be inside that storage unit. And then the dash is over there with a coat or 2 of paint on it. So now we're going to do this one over here. Okay, I have this 1/4 inch stuff. It's almost like the same stuff they make horse stall mats out of, but it's only 1/4 inch thick. So I figured, why not throw it on the cargo area or storage underneath of where the bed thing is. Because it's black, I'm using I call them a grease pencil, but it's a silver pencil. It's really soft lead, and that way we can see it. And this isn't going to be like, you know, super accurate as far as like, it doesn't have to be really precise. Basically, it's like a floor mat, but it'll help a little bit with sound deadening. And then there's also like ribs and stuff that are built into the floor of the car for strength. So this will help kind of even those out some. Unfortunately, it's a little bit short, so we're going to have to kind of piece it together, but that's okay. All right. I'm going to try and fill in some of those gaps that I'll show you here in a minute with some of the scraps and leftovers. But I've got this little chunk here that I'll come back and get out of like a portion of it on the other side. Trying to line up the marks that I just made. Alright, that should work. We'll get that cut out, and then I'm going to try and use the same piece of cardboard on the other side. I know that the driver's side doesn't have, I think it's like this dip right here, but we'll put it in there, and then you can just use tape to extend your pattern, and then that should work. I'm hoping that these scissors will work. Using a box cutter straight onto concrete isn't the best either. Alrighty then, there's that part. Sheesh. Alright. So these areas right here are the ridges and troughs and whatnot that I'm going to try and fill in with extra pieces. That way it's not so bumpy. But we'll get somewhat of a template for those, and we'll get those cut out as well. So this bump right here starts here, stops here. So I think I'm just going to run something kind of in between, so that it's not down and up and down and up. And then I'll do kind of the same thing on this side. I don't think I'm going to have enough to like totally fill this whole thing in flat, but I can get rid of some of the ripples. And if it doesn't work out, then it was scrap anyway. I think I'll start with this center one just because it's pretty much straight. Cardboard is harder to cut than the rubber is. Okay, now we'll get these cut out. That one I had to make a bunch of with tape because I wasn't going to go look for a box just to get that little 6 by 12 inch thing out of it. So we'll scribe these down. They're not touching or anything because I don't want there to be, well, it's hard to explain, but this is just to bridge and make it a little less. I'm not trying to make it dead flat. If we were trying to make it dead flat, we would probably use some kind of like self-leveling type of stuff or some spray foam and then sand it down and blah, blah. It's not that big a deal. I just know I have scrap and it's not going to be big enough to use for anything else. So I'm trying to patch these things in. Really, I'm kind of just going a little OCD on it and some ADD, which is why we are not getting as much done as I thought we were going to do. But anyway, we'll get these pieces cut out, get them put down, probably go ahead and spray glue these ones down to the floor. The other piece will just lay on it. That way you can kind of clean it up and whatnot if you need to. If you spill anything in here or whatever, as long as it's not like super runny liquid, it's just going to stay right where it is. You pull it out like a car mat or a floor mat in your car. You can just hose it off kind of deal. I honestly don't know that there's ever going to be anything that even gets to it, but it'll be what it'll be. And we'll go from there. Okay. We got a different kind of spray. Well, it's still spray adhesive, but now we have to let this tack up. 6 to 8 inches, permanent bonds. All right, 2 minutes. Beep. I haven't read the whole thing of directions, but I'm going to assume that somewhere on there it says use in a well-ventilated area. I'm going to open the door and maybe go get some water. All right. There they are glued down. We're going to have to repaint the floor, I think, because it's got that cobwebby looking crap on there, but let's get the other part put on, the top layer, and see what that looks like. All right, there it is. Lays pretty flat, and you can kind of see a little bit of the seam right here, but it's going to get covered up to about right there, so it won't matter as much. Anyway, and it's just a cargo bay. There's going to be the platform across the whole thing, so anyway, we'll keep going. All right, we got the other side done too. Yay. Not what I planned on doing today, but anyway. We have some of the panels painted. They're on both sides, but I still got all of these ones down here to do. So I think we're gonna call it quits for today. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video, follow along as we build this project. Hopefully it's at least entertaining to you, maybe even a little bit educational. If you want to build something similar. Anyway, like and subscribe, share it with somebody you think will enjoy it. God bless. Thanks again. Bye.